Did you know that 45% of Americans struggle with obesity? Why is this important? Well, the fact of the matter is that obesity is directly linked to causing heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. Why am I telling you this? The reason for this is because there is a good chance that someone in the audience has a family member who struggles with type 2 diabetes, heart disease, or stroke. It is very tragic to see a person go through this. However, we can prevent it in ourselves, and I'm going to share with you how you can do that. The way to stop obesity and to thereby stop these diseases is exercise. Exercise is a powerful tool that we can use that can benefit our physical health and as well benefit our emotional and financial health. Let me explain to you how. First, let's talk about the physical aspect of exercise. According to the CDC, heart disease is the leading cause of death in America. 17% of US American citizens were killed by this disease. How do you prevent heart disease? Exercise. But what about exercise prevents heart disease? Most exercises are aerobic. What this means is that they involve your circulatory system. And if you keep your circulatory system healthy, you keep your heart healthy because your heart is in your circulatory system. So, by exercising and by keeping your circulatory system in good health, you can lower your risk for heart disease. Type 2 diabetes is also another very common disease in the US that is preventable. What happens is the body cannot produce enough insulin to regulate blood sugar. How does exercise solve this problem? Well, exercise can actually help boost insulin production, which means you can better regulate your blood sugar and thereby lower your risk for diabetes, specifically type 2 diabetes. Finally, let's talk about stroke. Remember when I said Americans are obese? The reason that stroke comes from obesity is because blood vessels tighten when the body has excess body fat and it cannot pump blood as easily, which can lead to a stroke. So, by exercising, you can keep your blood vessels and your circulatory system in good health, which can lower your risk for obesity and thereby lower your risk for all of these other diseases. However, exercise can benefit you in other ways as well. According to the Mayo Clinic, it can help with your mental health. Exercise releases endorphins, which is the feel-good hormone. This can help you stay in a good mood for longer, and it can also help you have good sleep. Exercise can also help benefit you financially. According to the American College of Sports Medicine, roughly $2,000 is spent per year in healthcare on inactive adults. What this means is that some of these people, or most of us, probably pay insurance out of pocket, at least some of it. So, if you stay active, you can lower how much you have to pay in insurance, and you can stay away from the doctor longer, which means you can stay in good health, and you can keep your wallet in good health. Now, how can you apply this to your life? Well, the CDC recommends that each person gets 150 minutes of exercise a week. This may sound like a lot, but if you do the math, that's only 30 minutes of exercise a day for 5 days a week. When you think about it like that, that's not a lot. I know every one of us can carve out 30 minutes to do exercise. Now, it may seem like a daunting task at first, but the way you can incorporate it is maybe by doing exercise with something that you already do in a day. Take commuting, for example. How many of us walk to the convenience store or I should say, drive to the convenience store that is only a couple blocks away? How many of us take a car to the office when we could just as easily bike there? Remember, it depends on your situation what you can do to exercise. But taking simple steps like walking to the convenience store that's only a block down the road, or if you only have to go a mile to work, maybe you want to bike there instead. And you don't have to always commute to do exercise. You can do yard work as well. Maybe you just want to take a nice walk in the park. There are many ways that you can exercise. Remember, anything is better than nothing. According to the CDC, even if you get a little bit of exercise a day in a week, it's better than doing nothing. What this means is that if you can exercise, you can benefit your physical health, your mental health, your financial health, and you can stay around with your loved ones for longer. Thank you.